Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. Welcome to this YouTube Live. Let's pause just a moment here as I make sure all the technology is working properly. Okay, good. There we go. We are live on YouTube. Wonderful. So welcome to all of you watching this as a live or watching it later as a recording. I am thrilled to share this very potent astrology reading with you today. And my name is Jocelyn Starfeather. I'm the founder of Sacred Planet, and I welcome you to check out all of the other recent videos here on the Sacred Planet YouTube channel. We have lots of wonderful things in store for you here. And I have a really special announcement today, which I'm going to give about halfway through this forecast. So stay on and check it out. It's really, really exciting what I have to share with you all. So today we're going to look at some intense healing transits that are coming up. And this is so interesting because if you will look at my video that I recently made about the astrology of March 2023, there are just massive new world building really like paradigm shifting, like multi-dimension shifting transits coming up in March of 2023. So in February and very early March, we're going to be asked to prepare for what's coming next and prepare for building that new world. So we're going to have to do some healing work in February. And I think really this already started with that Leo full moon that we just had over the previous weekend before I'm recording, before this recording here. That was on February 5th. And that was very strong, very potent, especially for those with a lot of planets or points in the fixed signs. So if you all have a lot of fixed energy in your chart, you will have felt that full moon very strongly. And so let's look at the next transits that are coming up. So we have actually today and tomorrow, this is exact today in just a couple hours after this official recording time, but we'll be continuing to feel the energy throughout today and tomorrow. We have Mercury and Pluto conjunct. Okay, so on the chart here, that is at 28 degrees of Capricorn, 28 degrees and 58 minutes. So this is very powerful. Pluto and Mercury do meet up about once a year, every year. Okay, so this is, a transit that we have once a year, but this is the last time that Mercury and Pluto are going to be meeting in Capricorn in any of our lifetimes, because after this, the next time that Mercury and Pluto meet will be in Aquarius. So this is like the ending of an era, and we're going to be asked to go into the depths with our mind, our intellect, and our thinking, because that's what Mercury represents, okay? He represents the mind. He represents our thought processes, right? It's like how do our neurotransmitters work? That's the kind of thing that Mercury would want to know. And he also represents technology and communications in general. But for us on a personal level, it's really very much about the mind. And so our mind and our thoughts may go into the depths, because we're going to be asked to go in and clear out anything that's left that needs to be cleared before the next conjunction of Mercury with Pluto, which will be in Aquarius next year. Okay, so this can feel otherworldly. This can feel very multidimensional. Pluto represents the underworld, right? And Pluto represents the depths. He represents that which is hidden, that we are called to bring out into the light. So this Mercury conjunct Pluto is really going to be the energy of seeking out the truth and probably going into our minds, going into our belief systems, our mental processes to find out what is really true, okay? And not falling for what we've tried to hide, okay, or tried to push down or avoid looking at, really becoming ready to bring it out into the light. And I think this is actually going to feel like a relief. Okay, it might be hard to when if some thoughts start coming up that are bringing things up from the depths, that could feel difficult at the beginning. But as we lean into that, and this is the advice from this transit, we can receive so much more from the energies if we know what's coming and we are aware of how to properly work with that transit. So in this case, we want to go toward it. We really want to welcome these depths of thought, okay? And these maybe pulling out some things that we haven't wanted to look at before, but bringing them into the light. Now, it's not a long transit. This isn't going to go on for weeks and weeks. This is like a quick transit. Mercury is moving pretty quickly now, picking up speed after having come out of his retrograde. And so he's going to move pretty quickly past Pluto. So this is an opportunity to dive in, to look at those thoughts that might be really, really deep, or might be some uncomfortable or some dark thoughts, and really look at how can we bring this into the light? How can we heal this? How can we do this in a new way, create new patterns, create new intentions for how we're going to use the mind more optimally going forward, okay, so that we can build that new world that Pluto and Aquarius is going to be calling in. And Pluto is really important for us. Pluto can seem like a scary aspect to really dive in with, but Pluto is helping us to let go of the old parts of ourselves and the old parts of our world that are not working, to let those die so that we and our world can be rebirthed anew and really into a higher version of ourselves. Pluto's not messing around with like, oh, I'm going to initiate you and you'll be the same afterwards. I mean, this is real change and real transformation. So Mercury coming to Pluto at these very, very late degrees of Capricorn is really helping us to find the treasure within, okay, and the power within. Pluto is very much about helping us find our power. And this is a kind of power that we can only find when we dare to look at our shadows, when we dare to look at what's hidden in the darkness, bring it out into the light, work with it, heal it, do what needs to be done. This will be followed about 10 days later by the new moon in Pisces. Now, I'm just going to say a few quick words about the new moon in Pisces here, because I'm going to make a whole separate video about that transit, but that will be on the 20th of February. And let me just get the exact time here. It will be at 2:06 a.m. New York time. So let me pull that up for you. So here you can see we have the sun and the moon, both at 1 degree and 22 minutes of Pisces. So this is a really important full moon or new moon. I'm going to make, as I said, a whole other video about this, but just to give you a little glimpse, a little hint about it, this is actually going to be setting the stage for Saturn to come into Pisces, because this 1 degree Pisces point that this new moon is happening at is already bringing our attention to the part of the zodiac where Saturn's going to come through. Starting on March 7th, 2023, Saturn is going to move into Pisces and begin traversing the early degrees of Pisces. So with this new moon, we're going to get a glimpse of the feeling of what's ahead, okay, as Saturn's going to be moving in. So it's really important to pay attention to what happens on this day, February 20th. In some time zones, it's February 19th. So you want to take a look at this in your own time zone. But this is going to be really important. We have this new moon, interestingly, is conjunct Fomalhaut, which is one of the 4 royal fixed stars that I mentioned in the previous video about the full moon in Leo. And Fomalhaut, which is at 1 degree of Pisces, a fixed star. The fixed stars don't move around. They stay in one place in the zodiac, although in the grand precession of the equinoxes in the 26,000 year cycles, they move. But generally, we consider them staying in one spot during our lifetimes. So Fomalhaut represents a spiritual leader and magic and mystery. Okay, so this is very interesting. This is going to be the energy coming through around this new moon in Pisces, a lot of magic and mystery, maybe new leaders stepping forward. Maybe you'll feel the call within yourself to finally step into a new form of leadership or set intentions around that. Again, this is just to tease you a little bit, because I'm going to do a much longer video on this, but just to give you a little taste of that new moon in Pisces that's coming up. It's going to be really powerful. Now, there's one more transit I'm going to tell you about, but first of all, I want to share something really exciting. This is a big announcement from us in the Sacred Planet world, and I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's see here. So I receive so many requests for astrology readings. And I just can't do that many astrology readings. I have so many projects and other classes I'm leading, and tours in Egypt that I'm going to be leading, and other things I'm doing. So I am just incredibly excited to announce that we are going to be able to now serve all of you who are looking for alchemical astrology readings in the Sacred Planet style, and in the style in which I am providing astrology. because we are bringing in the amazing Cynthia Honores, and she is going to be our in-house astrologer for Sacred Planet. Now, I have specially selected her. She's incredible. You're going to love Cynthia. You're going to love getting astrology readings from her. And not only does she do astrology readings, and not only has she been studying with me to learn the alchemical astrology way of reading charts, but she can also provide readings in both English and Spanish. So if you prefer a Spanish spoken reading, Cynthia can do that. She's completely fluent. And she can also offer cacao ceremonies along with your astrology reading. All right, so I invite you to come on over to the Sacred Planet website, and you can see the URL right up here. And also, once this recording is done, I will post this in the description field of the YouTube video. Okay, so this is wearesacredplanet.com/alchemical-astrology-readings. Come here and check it out. There are 3 different levels of readings that you can book with Cynthia. She will be available beginning February 21st for readings, but if you want a reading, definitely book it now because I think her calendar is going to fill up very quickly. And oh my gosh, we are just so excited to have Cynthia joining Sacred Planet as our in-house astrologer. And as I said, I just know you're all going to love her. She is so wonderful. She brings such magic, and she really will. I have been thinking, there's no way I could hand over astrology readings to anybody else, because there's nobody else in the world that can bring like the level of possibility and the vastness of all that we are, into the readings in the way that I really love to do. And Cynthia does that. She has this incredibly vast and high potential outlook on things. So it's really beautiful. You're just going to love readings with her. So I recommend coming here and booking your reading very soon so you can get on her calendar before it fills up. Okay, so our last transit, our 3rd transit that we're going to talk about today is the conjunction of Jupiter, Venus, and Chiron. Now, this is going to happen on March 2nd, 2023. And let me just put this into our chart here. So we're going into March now, just slightly. And this will be at 12:30. Make sure that's right. 12:30 a.m. New York time. Again, be sure to look for this in your own time zone. Okay, so you can see here that in this chart, I have placed the timing of this chart so that Venus and Jupiter are conjunct at 12 degrees, 8 minutes of Aries, and Chiron is very nearby at 13 degrees, 54 minutes of Aries. So essentially, these are all conjunct, and very soon after the conjunction, this exact conjunction of Venus and Jupiter, both Venus and Jupiter are going to move along and exactly conjunct with Chiron, but really they're all quite close and quite conjunct already at this time. Now, this is really big. We do have a conjunction between Jupiter and Venus about once a year. It depends on the retrogrades of both of them and kind of how fast they're moving around the zodiac. But generally, once a year, Jupiter and Venus come together. And this Jupiter-Venus conjunction, just taken on its own, is a beautiful event every year. Okay, this is the 2 greater benefics coming together. Jupiter, as you know, expands everything he touches. Okay, so when Jupiter comes together with Venus, he is expanding beauty, grace, wealth, love, ease, and flow in our lives, and the highest integrity and values of the great goddess. Okay, and Venus also complements Jupiter very well. So Jupiter, with bringing his growth and expansion and abundance and optimism, that is all amped up as well. But this is a very interesting case that we have here, because it's not that simple this time around, because they are also both conjunct with Chiron, the wounded healer. Now, Chiron represents our deepest wound. Chiron represents that which we must heal, which we are deeply, deeply called to work with and heal in this lifetime in order to become the healer, the teacher, the leader, each in our own way that we're meant to do. Because when we work with our own wounds and we learn how to heal ourselves, then we come into a very deep experiential understanding of how to help others to heal or how to guide others on their path. So this is really going to be a massive healing opportunity. This is really time to use this beautiful energy of Jupiter and Venus coming together, okay? And the beauty and the love and the ease and grace and abundance of that to embrace the wounds, okay? It's like we want to hold the wounds close to ourselves. And this would be an incredible time to do inner child work and really bring comforting and compassion to that child within you. This would be an amazing time to do work with the matriarchal line, particularly with Venus being involved here and maybe healing the wounds of the lineage of the women in your ancestry, or your relationship with your mother, your grandmother, or your daughter. This is such an incredible opportunity to heal, because this is not just your normal, any other planet conjunct Chiron, right? It's not just like heal now and it might be really rough. This is like heal with love and grace and beauty and compassion. It's very interesting. Now, all three of these planets, okay, Jupiter, Venus, and Chiron, are squaring the moon. So, and you can see in the chart here, the moon is at 13 degrees of Cancer, okay, and they are all at 12 and 13 degrees of Aries. So this is tension, and this is tension with our emotions. So this transit is going to bring up a lot of emotions for all of us. You will want to see what house in your chart is Aries, okay, and what house is Cancer, and that will give you some more clues about the themes that you're really going to be working with and feeling at this time. But we also have, between the sun and the moon, a trine, okay? And this is bringing healing light into all of it. So the sun is at 11 degrees of Pisces, and that is trining the moon at 13 degrees of Cancer. So the sun and moon being the primary luminaries in our sky. Of course, the moon is reflecting the sun's light, but they are both the biggest, brightest lights that we have in our sky, one in the night and one in the day. And so they're going to be shining their light on the whole situation, right? They're kind of on either side of this Venus-Jupiter-Chiron conjunction, shining the healing light, shining the golden light of the sun, shining the silvery light of the moon on this healing opportunity. So this is a time to really set aside sacred space for yourself, to be in a ritual space or in solitude if you can, to really let yourself sleep and dream extra, to be writing in your journal, to be, see what comes up and really trust that what comes up during this time is very important for you to work with. Again, these transits I'm talking about today are preparing us for March and preparing us for these just monumental new world building opportunities that are coming in next. All right. And this is a really big one. And so be easy with yourself. Tune into that Venus energy of love and compassion and self-care for yourself and others on this day, because emotions will be really stirred up on this day. So we want to be aware of that and be gentle with yourself, be gentle with your family members and your friends on this day in particular. This would be an amazing day to have healing circles, women's circles, men's circles, prayer circles, to really just work with all of the healing that wants to occur cosmically. This is streaming into us from the cosmos, streaming into us here on Earth to bring us healing light. So mark those dates in your calendar. I would say listen to this one more time if you get a chance, just to really let it sink in and see what houses those transits are happening in for you. And I hope this will be helpful for you on your journey. And definitely do check out that link with Cynthia's astrology readings and cacao ceremonies offered on the page on Sacred Planet website. That will be linked in the description field below. Okay, well, lots of love to all of you. Please do put in the comments below this video how this moves you, what houses are impacted in your chart, how are you looking forward to utilizing these healing energies in the upcoming weeks. And I am sending you all so much love and many, many blessings. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful weekend ahead, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.